In your maiden speech, you also drew on your Christian faith, and you gave examples of Christians who had, quote, challenged the rich to share their wealth and help others less fortunate. In what...
I'm sorry, I thought I could hear a laugh coming from your side, Chewy, so I thought I'd give you space.
My.
Yeah, to share, remember, it's really important to share their wealth. Let's go, we'll keep going.
Challenge the rich to share their wealth and help others less fortunate. In what respect are you challenging the rich to share their wealth and help others less fortunate? In what respect are you doing that?
Well, I mean, what we're trying, my point there was actually about, you know, from a faith point of view, I believe that I've got to use the skills, abilities and experiences I have to actually, make an impact as best I can to uplift as many New Zealanders as possible.
Challenging the rich to share their wealth?
Well, that's exactly what you've seen many wealthy people actually putting foundations to places.
Sorry, just to harken back. Do you remember what it means when he stutters? Like we're like playing poker, the tell when he stutters. When he stutters means I got to be careful what to say here. I don't know what to say. What can I say here? Probably need to lie.
You've seen many wealthy people actually putting foundations to places. I was with a number of New Zealand, I think about one New Zealander in particular who's doing incredible work.
Many New Zealanders, a number of New Zealanders. I'm thinking about one New Zealander. Many New Zealanders. He went through the cycle of many New Zealanders to his example being one New Zealander. Listen again.
Well, that's exactly what you've seen many wealthy people actually putting foundations to places. I was with a number of New Zealand, one New Zealander in particular who's doing incredible work on education. I've seen other wealthy New Zealanders doing incredible work around making about sure.
Philanthropy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some real generous people in New Zealand.
Can I just say, sorry, Mr. Luxon, the position of your faith that you're sharing there is not about philanthropy. It's not. I mean, it's just not. Sharing your wealth. It's like, it comes from parts of the Bible where it says things like it's easier for a rich man to go through, for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. It's not about that. It's Jesus said to one rich person, give up all your belongings and follow me, because that person had a issue with wealth. It's not about, setting up a charity. It's literally about sharing your wealth, dispersing your wealth. That's what the book is talking about that you say that you follow.
Incredible work around
you're talking
making
about
sure.
Philanthropy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some real generous people in New Zealand who are successful, who've worked really hard, may have come from tough backgrounds. But I just say to you, there's sort of a bit of a thing which is, we don't want to castigate successful people and through innuendo imply that they're doing something wrong. We need successful people in New Zealand in order to create the wealth creation and actually to support our social institutions and our system.
Because for Jesus once said, blessed are the wealth creators, for they will trickle down through the economy. I mean, come on, bro.
Okay. In terms of fairness in that system, IRD did a study a couple of years ago looking at the 300 top wealthy Kiwis. They said that they paid a median tax rate of 9.4% compared to a middle wealth Kiwi who was paying about 20%. I mean, what's fair about a system where the super wealthy pay half the tax rate that a worker pays?
Well, I could attack that David Parker study about unrealised gains and all that kind of stuff, and paper assets and all that sort of stuff.
Largely it is because we don't have capital gains taxes.
Yeah, but let's have that conversation, right? Let's just take a step back. What has been the biggest problem under national-led governments or Labour-led governments in New Zealand over the last 30 years? The bottom line is that we have failed to drive economic productivity. We're in the bottom.
So then they go into a conversation about economic equality, and Guy actually says to him, so why are you the bright line test, and you've made it actually more viable for non-economic investment to happen from people buying houses and yada, 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 yada. Chewy, you have a go on that, and I'll probably play one more clip, I think.
He knows what the problem is. He correctly identified it. The problem with our economy is it was not productive enough because we're not producing things. We are buying and selling old houses to each other. We are padding our retirements with other people living in our asset and paying it for us. We are not building. We are not investing in new business and new products. He knows that, but he can't change it because himself, all of his party, all of his donors are up to their fucking eyeballs in property portfolios. It is against their own best interest to change this. And this has been the same, not just for national, but for other governments as well. Nobody wants to fucking touch it. We've correctly identified what the problem has been for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to pour water on the housing market.
Yep. And
Nobody's
look,
brave enough to go, yep, the International Monetary Fund is correct. We need a capital gains tax. We're one of, I think, 3 OECD countries that doesn't have a capital gains tax. And somehow this government thinks that it would be political harikiri to bring one in, even though competing nations with us do it just fine. He's a hypocrite.
Yeah. We're going to actually talk about the Bright Line test next, so it kind of ties in with what you're saying, True. But first of all, Gareth just wants to remind everybody what I'd say to you, Pat, is that Jesus only had to manage a team of 12. Beautiful. Very good. Very good. Very good.